wrong for us, it's wrong for y'all. So they should know what's coming with that. They shouldn't be surprised or feel some way.
When you were a child, what did your parents tell you? Two wrongs don't make a right.
But DJ, I will say that,
Right. So therefore, they should have no problem with
we
it.
tried to sit down and talk with them and tried to have an actual discussion. They shot us. So where do you want them to go from?
Come on, Brad really difference. Brad really did show us.
This isn't canceling.
Come on.
No. This isn't canceling somebody over their words. Like, you know what I mean? This is actual. This is political violence. This is violence. This is like, how else do you, besides us returning the favor, how else do you answer this? This is the way you do it. It's a non-violent way of doing it. That's how you do it.
Don't you think that it's also a big wake-up call, but at a very hefty price, that a man and a father had to die? You don't have to agree with Charlie Kirk. You don't have to agree. I don't agree with him one bit on a lot of issues. But to advocate for somebody's death and celebrate it, I mean, doesn't that really corrode the very essence of political discourse and what it's about in a democracy?
No, it's about freedom. It's look, freedom is scary, bro. Y'all just gotta deal with this shit, man.
But I'm confused.
You're preaching to the preacher. You're preaching to the preacher here. We know that.
Crazy people who took a
Alpha,
hold
hold on.
at
So
other
Alpha,
people for what they say.
but this has been going on for a while. Like this whole silencing. Like some of you may feel a certain type of way about Israel and Gaza, but Jewish Americans weren't able to even go to their classes for the colleges they paid for. We just watched a group of them get firebombed for doing a simple support rally, walking around a mall. Literally, old women and men fucking walking in a circle around the mall, and someone decided to take Molotov cocktails and go ahead and just drop it on you.
You don't fix the problem by you doing the same thing now that you have the opportunity.
I didn't say we had to do the same thing. I'm just saying. Saying every time conservatives, you just had the guy who was saying, hey, I believe in free speech. I want to sit down and have a conversation with you. Went across the country and said, prove me wrong. Sat there, offered his opinion, and had people come up, and you could take as much time as you wanted to have a fucking debate with him. Not only that is, he opened up organizations and chapters so that you could format and facilitate these, quote, discussions that the left wanted nothing to do with. And guess what? He was fucking murdered on live TV or was in front of his little girls.
By a crazy kid.
And you know what? Who believes in the same ideology that a lot of these people on the left believe in. So where do
No, hold on. I got real quick. Hold on. Everybody talking about I'm not speaking. Hold on. Listen, DJ, real quick. I want to ask you this real quick. I know you got a question, Brad. Listen. I want to ask you something, DJ. I really want to ask this because you seem more logical than the rest of your base. How do we get the left to back off doing this type of shit? Not just celebrating, but even supporting their attacks. Like calling for violence. How do we get that side to dial it back?
Okay, this is what you do, and it's real simple. We already got things in place for this. If they broke a law, you prosecute. That's it. That's it. So you don't have to work for nothing magical you have to do. There's nothing. If they broke,
we already got it in place. No.
If they broke a state or federal law, you prosecute.
That didn't work for Arena.
No, but that's the response. We're talking about preventive. We're talking about talking to your base.
Prosecution is the response.
No, preventive. No.
Like
I said to stop them, not how to respond.
Like y'all can't be little cupcakes all of a sudden.
DJ, this is the problem. Your base keeps supporting this fuck shit, which only advocates for more of it, and that's what you got in it.
So as more of it get done, we build more jail cells.
Wow. So you don't want to fix the problem, you just want to respond to it, okay?
Who do you want to put in jail for? That's crazy.
Like I said, if they broke an actual law,
they are breaking the law, but then they're gonna call the right fascist if you put all these motherfuckers in prison for advocating terrorism. This is not freedom of speech. This is advocating and supporting terrorism.
And if
they are putting other people in that list.
And if you could prove that they break the law, terrorism.
Listen, everybody look at Matt's
breaking of law. I prefer Trump's administration does not put these motherfuckers in prison because then it's kind of like borderline fascism looking. But trust me, this is breaking law. They can put these people in jail, in prison, because it is the law that we cannot support or advocate or, call for more terrorism. This is domestic terrorism. Whether fellow wants to blame this on Israel or not, this is called domestic terrorism. Somebody was killed because of their political belief. This was a political assassination. It's called domestic terrorism.
So listen, real quickly, look at Matt's PTR and look at all the people who are calling for violence.
Those are not Democrats, those are just people.
What do you do with
Definitely left leaning.
This is what Free's asking. What do you do with people that want the next person to die, DJ?
Say it again.
What do you want to do with the person that is saying, like in my PTR, they want the next person to die? What do you do with these folks? Like, do we live among them? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, bro, people on Clubhouse want me to die, but I don't advocate them. I don't advocate them to go get arrested because they want me to die. I just pray for these people. I pray that when they leave, when they get in their car right now, a semi truck runs them over. That's all I do.
DJ, I'm gonna tell you full of shit, and I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, no. I'm gonna tell you why you're full of shit. If you have people stalking you, sending death threats, or doing things to really disturb your environment, which happened in Charlie Kirk even beforehand, you wouldn't just sit back and like, well, they failed. No, you want precautionary action. You want preventive measures. You want the police, the law enforcement to actually go and engage them. Go ahead.
Guess what, Free? When you're a public figure. When you're in the public eye and you say inflammatory things, that's what comes with the territory. You just
DJ, you're too smart for this. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what the fuck we're talking about, DJ. And this is the problem. We always do this bullshit where you don't want to deal with the situation at hand. We know what it. No, but that's not what's being disputed, DJ. That's not the fucking argument. We're talking about what to do to fix the fucking problem. And you want to address it because you don't want to fix the problem. This is why your base is fucking nuts. There's no problem to be fixed because they like your base is left leaning. Your base is left leaning.
Now everybody on this app know everybody on this. Maybe you don't know me, but everybody on this app knows that not to be the truth.
You're not left leaning.
I'm actually fuck Pepe. Am I left leaning?
No, he's free.
He's
degenerate. He's right leaning.
Yeah, he's
but he
independent on his
hates
thinking.
Charlie Kirk too, though. So he's.
Well, my apologies then. You're right. I didn't know. My apologies. I'll take it back. Okay, fair enough.
Here's my thing. I'm holding the right accountable because I don't like the way my side is behaving now because you guys are showing yourself to be no different than the left with this Charlie Kirk thing.
But DJ, again, the right has been offering a hand to the table. All the basket of deplorables. They gave a pause. A lot of conservatives actually said, hey, you know what? For the sake of the country, don't go after fucking Hillary Clinton. After his first election. And pushed him to do that. Literally pushed him to do it. A lot of people were upset by this, but it was a large group of his base that said, please, for the sake of the... Don't go after Hillary Clinton. Let's be done with this shit and let's start fixing the problems at hand. We need to fix fucking shit across the board, and we want our energy focused. Again, it got a little fucked up. I'm not going to say it was perfect. There were some great things. There were some bad things. And there were some things that were just left on the table. And then, voila, a pandemic. Then we watched the greatest wealth transfer. Then you have this whole Trump was shot at once. And then there was a second attack planned on him. You had an immediate cancel culture that went through removing prominent people and people, quote, associated with January 6th. Because remember, January 6th was the darkest day in the entire country. That apparently surpassing, slavery, Jim Crow, 9/11, Pearl fucking Harbor, all of those other events. Nothing could compare to January 6th per Nancy Pelosi. So no matter what, this was the horrifying day. And people who weren't even in the Capitol, who were just there, had their bank records exposed, given freely by Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They gave it over without even asking for a warrant, without the FBI saying, hey, here you go. They handed that shit right off to the Biden administration. And then they brought in the security net. They expanded the Capitol Police range. They even put a Capitol Police in California next to Nancy Pelosi, which made no fucking sense to me to have a district there. But then they again made all these provisions and then went up there and attacked it. Remember, draped on either side, a Marine on either side, red highlighted backdrop, and Biden going, the most dangerous threat to America is Trump and his supporters. And literally that was called out. Like that speech on primetime TV came up and Biden said that shit. And guess what? The left ran with that and said it. Remember, they said Catholic Catholics were a threat to the country. PTA soccer moms questioning their fucking school boards was fucking accounting to like equal to fucking revolution, and we needed to suppress them. This was the left. They did this stuff, and now because of, you know what? I'm not really comfortable with giving the left a pass. I'm comfortable letting these people have that again. They're shooting. They're doing these things. They're cheering it on. They're egging it on. They're wanting it on. For fuck's sake, Kathy Gifford started off holding a Trump severed head. Like, I mean, where do you want to go? I'm still waiting for people to sit there and go, give me the conservative mainframe. I'm saying that the right will do violence. I'm not saying they're completely innocent, but if we're going to weigh these scales are so heavily weighted in the left side that I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to speak. I don't even care if they're at the table anymore. I really don't care. I don't want them in power. I don't want to hear their thoughts. I don't want to hear their ideas, especially after watching how the left in this country has actually carried itself cheering and saying, let's get rid of all conservatives this way. They wanted the fucking war. Let's give it to them. I'm perfectly okay with it. You want to go bullet for bullet, shot for shot, fist for fist, whatever it is, I'm ready for it. I am.
So Brad, I agree with you, bro. And like, I like the fact that Charlie Kirk was going on these college tours, deprogramming this leftist agenda out of these college kids, and he was really putting in work on that front. But here's where he crosses the line. When he starts trying to tear down MLK's legacy, and this is a man who, yes, of course, he was a flawed man. Everybody's flawed. But the fact that you want to hyper focus on his flaws versus the fact that this black man, MLK, took a bullet for the love of his people. And you want to tear down his legacy for what? For what? Because I could talk about all the evils of most of the founding fathers. They all had slaves. Andrew Jackson was a fucking murderous psychotic. But we don't talk about that shit. Because there's no reason.
Because the Democrats on the left don't want to talk about their founding father, which was Andrew fucking Jackson.
So I mean, I'm just saying, why tear down a person like MLK, a person who took a bullet because he was trying to free his people, by pointing out the fact that maybe he was a womanizer. Who most famous people are. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're famous, most likely you're going to be a womanizer. That's just the reality.
Hey, but DJ, wasn't Charlie open for any intellectual to challenge him on his position on MLK, whether you felt like he was wrong or right? But now we can't do that, right? Because the response was to kill him, right? That's the point that we need to make. I don't think people believe everything that Charlie Kirk says. I voted for Donald Trump, okay? A black man, even though I look like a white man, right? I don't agree with every fucking thing Donald Trump says. I know for a fact, though, he's better than those other ones on the other side. I'd certainly rather have him running the country than those fucking loons running the damn country into the ground, right? So we don't agree with everything that everybody says, but he was open for debate, and what did the left decide to do?
And I would submit he took a bullet for freedom. So why can't we do this, DJ? This comparison that your particular leader that you admire bullet for somebody or for a group of people, I suppose, and then I mean, I don't think it's that far fetched to be able to make those kind of claims.
Yeah, and look, because Friday, I understand where you're coming from, but I think you have to. And it's difficult, but I think you have to allow other communities to have their perspective on their icons and who they feel like represents maybe something that other people's community would represent for them. For me, Charlie Kirk was a brother in Christ in the sense that we were both evangelicals, or at least we were both raised that way. So I see him in that sense. I don't see him necessarily as a Martin Luther King, but I do understand from the Zoomer perspective, a younger individual, particularly white men, why in a world where they don't see the American dream being obtainable, why someone like Charlie Kirk, who is not only living the American dream, but showing a pathway to them reclaiming that, why they would see him and his assassination as a Martin Luther King type figure for them. Not that he has to be for you, but that for them and their movement, why he would play that role.
You know, guys, I just want to read you guys just one passage that Sam Harris published regarding the Charlie Kirk incident, or should I say the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. He said something that I found very profound, and there's a lot of truth in it. He says, since deleting my Twitter account nearly 3 years ago, I've generally ignored social media. However, in the last 48 hours, I've spent enough time studying the response to Kirk's death to be further convinced that platforms like X and TikTok are destroying our culture. No metaphor does the problem justice. I've compared social media to a dangerous psychological experiment, a hallucination machine, a funhouse mirror, a digital sewer, but nothing captures the ludicrous insults, moral injuries, and delusions that millions of us avidly produce and consume online. If the medium is the message is mass psychosis, and it will send us careening from one political emergency to the next. The fact that some of the most deranging and divisive is being created or amplified by foreign adversaries, I agree with that, and that we have literally built and monetized their capacity to do so beggars belief. We are poisoning ourselves and inviting others to poison us. That's a poignant way to put it.
But interesting you say that, because is it a coincidence that the pharmaceutical industry and technology, especially the internet, use the same term when they talk about people? They call them users. When they talk about giving you a drug, a sedative, or anything, they call you a user. Users of our product. You're users. So to not think that, I mean, obviously there's going to be negative and positive externalities from it. It depends on who's wielding it and what benefits you get out of it. He who masters whatever controls thought and behavior obviously is attempting to get a result out of it. It's just like the story of the Wizard of Oz. Who is the wizard behind the curtain, pulling the strings? Who are the people creating the algorithms? Who are the people wanting to make sure that certain things get put on the internet, regardless of whether they cause detriment to society? Because if you think about it, this is where politics and economics intersect.
I actually don't believe, was that you, Alpha, that was speaking in regards to the internet? I actually don't believe people from either in modern day, the left, particularly on the internet, because if you recall, many moons ago, the conservatives were asking for restraints on them. Like, Texas just put up a blockage on porn, and that was fought back by people who wanted, quote, free speech and wanted the ability to jerk off to young kids online, which is really fucking disgusting. But they wanted this ability. In fact, sued to actually block these and multiple attempts to go ahead and do this. And so when conservative groups or conservative foundation groups or particularly Christian groups who are saying, hey, I don't want this in my child's life. I don't want the ease of access. I don't want the ability to do it. It gets fought, and sometimes it gets overturned. Sometimes the liberals or the left wins, the right sometimes wins. Like Texas is holding true. Last I knew that their resolve has stood, that they're going to continue to ask for age verification at the very least in order for someone to get online. Now, how much that helps, I don't really know. I don't really care. Don't really watch the shit, so it's not my wheelhouse, and my kids are grown. But when groups do try to say, hey, this is what we want for our children, this is the type of environment we want to raise our children in, they're often forced into, and they have to contribute, how do I say this? They have to force to comply with another views, even despite the fact that that view doesn't reside in that area, or even have children to be fucking begin with. It's not like, there's vast communities that are saying, hey, I really don't want books depicting sexual positions and behaviors of LGBTQ members in my third graders' library. I want to remove those books out, which they've had massive protests. They've confirmed, they visually have told us what books they want to remove because of the very indecent things that are in the books themselves. And they received pushback. They received ridicule. They received cancellation. They received a whole bunch of hate. And so the right has now protested and rebounded back and said, hey, this is where we're going. Guess what? We're your Target shoppers. Guess what? On the weekend, we're your Bud Light drinkers. Nope, we're not going to buy that. So you're going to either have dips in sales or you're going to cater to what we want. Oh, schools, for sure. We're going to win school boards. We're going to win governorships. We're going to win this area. And then we're going to determine our own rooms. And they're doing it. And this is going across communities. It's happening in black communities. It's happening in Asian and Hispanic communities as well. So it just appears that white liberal snowflakes really can't figure out that the rest of the fucking country doesn't agree with their stance. And no matter how many times you try to force it, the conservatives are now tired. They are now pushing back, and it's not just the conservatives. It's the middle of the road. And it's a whole lot of other people in a lot of other minorities that are fucking sick and tired of the bullshit.
But Brent, see, I understand everything you say. In fact, I'm quite privy to it. However, where does it stop? I mean, will it attenuate to a point where things will be normal enough for people to disagree with each other, people not to push a particular extreme agenda on each other or try to control each other, but to compete more politically than physically, and then fanning the flames of war and violence? I mean, who draws the line exactly? Where
People have to actually get prosecuted for their crimes. Like, for example, the Trump administration have kind of been hinting that they want to bring George Soros and his kids up on RICO charges for funding all this illegal activity that the left has been doing for the last couple.
Finally.
So things like that have to happen. Look, at the end of the day, if people broke an actual law, they need to be prosecuted on it. But for some reason, the left oligarchs get to walk around this world of, and they've been doing this shit since Kennedy. A lot of people talk about Elon Musk being a right-leaning oligarch, but the left has been fucking had oligarchs that's been controlling shit. Remember during the Black Lives Matter, the Occupy Wall Street protests, these magical bricks getting placed? That shit is a crime. How come no one got prosecuted for? You can't just. It was pallets of bricks lined up in front of these banks for people to throw bricks into the window. Who put those bricks there? Because that's clearly a crime. How come no one ever got prosecuted for that stuff? A forklift had to literally lift that shit and them down. That means someone paid a lot of fucking money for that.
Where's the thing, though,
Friday.
We, as part of the public, if we fall for it and become puppets, do you know what I mean? I mean,
but Alpha, you're asking for something. You're asking from something that should have been. I know Matt can find it. I know Free and a bunch of other people, because you know how I know this. The people have sent me this. It's about an hour and a half long, the full video, but there's been clips of it circulating on social media. It's literally that leadership talking political incitement, and they're saying go out and harass, harm. We need to get after him. You have Jasmine Crockett. She's such a wonderful strategist. She's a wonderful political mind. First off, the twat never fucking campaigned, never won an election. She was handed her district. She had what was called a soft election, meaning she didn't have to consent anybody. She just kind of rolled into the position. Hasn't really done my district, didn't even grow up in her district. And if you actually got to meet her before she puts on her performance, she does not talk how she acts on TV. Absolutely 100% does not talk like that at all. Because I know, I've seen her, I've met her. She does not engage that way. She only talks a certain style when she's in front of the cameras or knows there's a big crowd or an event around her. In small private conferences where she's asking for money, she sits there and talks a completely different way. Her articulation switches more than Hillary Clinton's statements on Benghazi, more than Kamala Harris on whether or not she supports Israel or Palestine. I kid you not. But she woke up one day and said, I want to see the end and the downfall and the elimination of Elon Musk. And she got her wish. People were running around carving Nazi signs, swastika signs in people's fucking expensive cars, firebombing fucking Tesla stations, destroying Tesla charging stations, all for the sake of what? Political leaders inciting violence? But we don't hold any of it. And to DJ Friday's point, yeah, but to prevent it, you need a Democrat leader who's going to say, hey, I need to come out there. And right now, there is no one in the DNC that is a leader that could actually have the left in any particular way, let alone
look what they
condemn that violence. So, I mean, even Bernie Sanders giving his milquetoast warm apology and saying, hey, we should condemn violence this time around. Where was that kind of statement and feeling when the fucking, the crazy fucking nut job shot up the baseball game? Like, you didn't give that kind of rendition. You didn't walk around saying, we need to end political violence. We need to stop it now. He didn't say any of that shit. He didn't run around saying all that. No, what they're afraid of is actually the reverse. They're now getting afraid of, well, wait a minute, this may have escalated too far, and we may be the people that are next. It may be an Ilhan Omar or an AOC or Bernie Sanders that gets hit. Like, let's be honest. And is anybody on this side of conservatives going to go cry? No. Should we post memes about how happy we are? Absolutely. We should post 1,000 memes for that shit. Because you guys on the left had no problem doing it. And I'm not above. I'm not like king. I'm not forgiving like a lot of Christians. I'm not a Christian, so I don't turn the other cheek. I believe it. I'm old world. I want eye for an eye.
What? Oh, wait, Brad.
Brad, what you're saying is contradictory, though, bro.
Brad, don't put that on us, Brad.
You can't turn around and say that Trump wasn't a better guy when he incited rioting and violence.
I know you heard me talking. I know you heard me talking. Brad, we turn one cheek. Outside of that, we have an Old Testament that clearly tells us we are to defend ourselves and that the state is absolutely there to implement justice, right? So
you guys got to get Old Testament quick. You need that fire and brimstone and that freaking war.
You know, look,
you need crosses painted on shields and swords drawn and start marching into war.
Well,
you guys are under attack.
Just so people understand, right? Because I hear you. Because people don't oftentimes understand the balance of the new and the old. For instance, let's say this retard gentleman that is rainbowist, right? This Tyler kid converts to Christianity while he's in jail waiting to be executed. If he were to do that, we would accept him as a new brother in Christ, and we would wish him farewell on his way to being executed. Meaning, as a Christian, we would welcome him that he is now a new brother in Christ, but still, the state would execute him as justice for Charlie Kirk. And so that's the balance that we get in that as a personal thing, we have a personal way of looking at things, but justice must always be implemented on a societal level. So, that's the distinction.
You know, some people on the right, as of yesterday, are starting to question if this guy is even a guy. It's, Breitbart.
Even a guy?
That this guy is even a shooter.
Breitbart. Oh, yeah. So you want me to speak to that?
Breitbart. He confessed.
No, he didn't. No, so he's not cooperating.
No. That's changed, King. If you look, I can find it for you. He actually just came out, and they have. He admitted to it. Plus, there's a Discord message of him admitting to it. So I'll show you it.
Yeah, show it to me, man, because I'm hearing that he's not cooperating.
Yeah, that's changed in the last 15 hours.
Exactly.
No.
And they have a Discord message where he said, "Sorry guys,
Have they shown the Discord message? Have they actually shown it?
Yeah, he erased it. Yeah, he erased it, but they retrieved it.
Breitbart just posted. So remember the original old guy that they thought, that old white man with the bald head? Remember that guy? He was the first guy that they had in handcuffs. So today, Breitbart just posted that guy, and they about to rearrest this guy because he was clearly he was saying that he was playing a distraction. Because when they originally put handcuffs on him, he was like, "Yeah, I did it, and I'll do it again." And then they found other people who was dressed just like him, had the same shirt on. So now they're saying that this shit is bigger than what we think it is, and there are a lot more other people involved in this.
The conspiracy theorists will always say that, and it doesn't really matter anyway because on the right we're independent and we should have a diversity of thought. So it's okay that they don't agree or believe.
Always dismiss things to just being conspiracy theory. That's a whole conspiracy in itself, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is that you often don't have any evidence. So we do have evidence on the other side that's pointing the other way. So your conspiracy theory it has zero, and I mean zero evidence. And that's what's wrong with the conspiracy theorists. They're always so smart after the fact. But if they were really smart, then they would be able to predict what's going to happen before it actually happens and prevent it from happening.
But you know how
In what context, Notorious?
Wait. But y'all know how many
In what
times
context?
conspiracy theorists have predicted. I remember Alex Jones predicted 9/11 a week before 9/11 happened.
That is true.
And he said it exactly the way he said it was going to happen.
And several people knew, not only Alex Jones, several people knew something like 9/11 was going to happen. In addition, there have been other conspiracy theorists that have absolutely predicted things that have come to pass. Now, they're not 100%, they don't have a 100% accuracy rate, but I think, Notorious, you have to admit that, especially the ones that have been pushed out there as like the symbol of conspiracy theorists, they have spoken on things that have happened, and it's kind of scary. Because even the frogs are the water's turning the frogs gay. Even that turned out to have some truth to it when they looked into the science behind those things and how it was changing the animals and their their little peepees and wee-wees and coochies and stuff. So we have to be honest.
So Ken, you know how that works,
go ahead,
right? You know how that works, because a long time ago I called into the Alex Jones show and I talked to him about it, right? You know how it works. These guys ain't magical. They're not psychics. They have people on the inside who tell them, because in every organization, you're gonna have people who don't agree with what's going on, and they'll tip people off. So you will have people in the government who knows about these things that will tell Alex Jones these things. Now it's up to Alex Jones if he's gonna believe it or not, or if he's gonna publish it. That's all that happens. People tell on these people. It's like if you work for DARPA, it's all type of shit DARPA is working on. But if I told you the shit DARPA is working on, you'll be like, they're not doing no shit. Like, that is crazy. But then Alex Jones, he just has the guts to actually tell us about it. Like, I remember geoengineering was a conspiracy theory. Now they admit to the shit.
Yeah, yep.
What y'all in here lying about? What's going on?
No, what's up, lady?
Happy Tuesday. Hi. Hello.
Hello, my second wife. How's it going?
Oh, how you feeling, Brad?
Feeling good.
What is there not to lie about?
Right, Alpha.
I do want to say one thing. This is cringe. So Pam Bondi, I don't know. They need to fire this stupid bitch. But she's saying she wants to. Yeah, I'm here.
He's running his show. What's going on, kid?
He's got a new name.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had a new name. Yeah, follow me on this account.
I gave you the hearts twice. King Solomon. Hey, Mom. Hey.
King, that's because he keeps getting targeted by a certain individual but I mean...
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it here. It's fine. Okay. But I haven't been targeted lately, so I'll just drop in it. But I'll say Pam Bondi she's saying she wants to prosecute the office Max or Depot employees that refused to print the flyers for the vigil for Charlie Kirk. Now, I think that is like absolutely batshit crazy, and that is way over the line. I mean, they got fired. Who gives a fuck? But prosecuting them, I mean, that's just petty and stupid.
It is. Yeah, we got to be careful moving forward.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, I can't say it out loud, but it rhymes with Bright Time.
Amazing.
You're about to feel some of that white power, huh?
I did not say that, goddammit. Put words in my mouth.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as this case unfolds, seeing if we can get to the bottom of the truth, and who actually gets to the bottom of the truth. I don't actually think it's going to be the FBI. I think it's going to be us, the people. I think we're going to be the ones that uncover a lot of this stuff to the point where it can no longer even be ignored. Because I don't think that this Tyler kid was working alone. So.
I'll just respond to somebody in the chat. Look, China is in no position to talk about democracy and leadership at all. At all. At all. What China needs to do is stop trying to bully Taiwan, okay, and respect people's choices and a sovereign country for what it is, and stop trying to repress everybody and killing dust. That's what they need to do. China is no... See, China was a democracy, right, with an opposition. I would have said, you know what? Sure. I mean, they could have a say in the free world, but they don't. They really don't. They were a pariah state until 1998 when Bill Clinton decided to bring them back in, because they were so naive thinking that China actually worked with international conventions and liberalized the economy. They didn't. They did quite the opposite, right? See, China is a very dynamic and diverse way of dictating and, you know, basically one of the, I don't know, it's a strange creature, China. Outside of China, they're all capitalists, they're all accumulating and extractivism and all of that. And inside China, they're all communists and nobody's above anybody else. And long live, you know, Xi Jinping and all that stuff. No, China has no credibility to talk about America. China needs to tell TikTok to stop trying to sow division in America, right? That's what China needs to do. And it's quite eerie when I'm not religious or anything, but TikTok, ever since TikTok has been around, the time has been ticking and talking for just poisoning the minds of the youth, right?
That was
and really, don't you guys see it? It's ticking talking.
Yeah, that's a great point. How China basically is trying to destroy the youth of America and have a totally different practice and standard for their own people. Y'all remember that China was welding people in their homes during COVID, like going and welding their doors shut. So, yeah, China.
Yeah, that's true.
You cannot go outside, bad boy. Sit it there and starve.
That gives some nice man.
How wrong? Don't go outside, no. No.
That's not nice.
Stay inside your house, bad boy.
Bad boy, you bad boy. Stay in your house, bad
That sounds
boy.
ugly. Stop.
That's the type of society.
We were doing good. Now you guys are getting a little racist.
Right.
Yeah, it's not racist. That's an accent.
Getting a little racist, goddammit.
No, I hate it when people say it's racist to mimic an accent.
Right, come on,
It's
guys.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger has this silly accent. God, I can't even do it. It's so goofy. Like everybody thinks he's cool.
But
you know?
the intent
about my accent.
is the intent. Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's last name is racist as fuck. What do you expect?
And you know what I hate when people come up to you know what I hate when people come up to me. Hopefully you guys can hear me and they say, you don't talk black.
Literally means black nigger.
What is that? Wait, hold on. I said, I hate when people come up to me and say, you don't talk black. What's that?
That's
What is that? I don't talk black.
So who's asking you this? Black people or white people?
Both. Black people,
Jive.
but mostly white. Mostly black.
So how do black people don't speak English? What is that supposed to mean?
I know, you tell me.
They want you to talk like your
I mean,
name.
I don't know why I've never made a comment like that. Like that is just an HR write-up looking to happen. If you say you don't sound black, it's like basically saying, oh wow, you're not one of the dummies.
Well, my mom named me Thalia, and the oldest girl is Ava, and the middle girl is Zelda, and I'm Thalia. She said she wanted us to be able to have good jobs. So I guess in the late 50s, the early 60s, she was thinking about something called affirmative action or DEI. Yeah, I mean, so she told. Now I could deal with Thalia because I'm a carbon copy of my great grandmother, so I just jumped a few generations, but a doppelganger. People are really always thinking how they're going to fit in corporate world, an organization that they don't own or not on the board.
Well, you have to remember, Ebonics is not just ignorant speak. Ebonics, we had to master that so the white boy couldn't know what we were up to.
You guys
here
literally
we go.
learned
I
Ebonics.
felt like we
here
paid our
we go.
dues. I
This is
felt like
stupid.
With that bullshit.
no, but I feel like if you carry the last name Sanders, that should be enough. But she, my hair's always been curly and straight at the roots, and she wanted to fit in so bad she would use Vigoro or pressing comb to just make it like bone straight and no frizz. So some people they go through that to fit in where they can get in more so. But she was more targeted at being jazzy for the corporate workforce than anything.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to stay on Ebonics, and Othello, you're fucking. Do you even know where X? People criticize black people for pronouncing ask as X. That actually came. There's a dialect that was spoken by. They were more or less from the fuck is that area? It's Ulster Scots. It was kind of a poor region where they
Appalachia you're talking about, or the Otis?
Yes, but where they came from in the UK,
the Highlands in Scotland.
Yeah, they had a very butchered pronunciation of English words, and X was actually one of them. And so there's a lot. It was learned from white people.
It's not that they were poor. It's just that they spoke Scottish Gaelic, and so the Queen had to make adjustments in Glencarry, Ontario, Canada.
Look, Ebonics has a direct line to peasantry in the Anglo-Saxon world. We just have to be honest about that. Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, it has its origins in peasantry. Thomas Sowell wrote an excellent book that literally details the entire history of this. You can go read it. It's called, if I remember, Black Rednecks, White Liberal, or White Liberal, Black Rednecks, something of that sort. But it literally goes through the entire history of this.
I mean, everything we do now, we learn from them. So.
But I've understood when white people can't enunciate, no one ever questions their intelligence. But when black people
we don't.
Yeah, dude, we are brutal.
I say all the time that they must have gone stupid.
I don't think you understand. Like when it's like white people around, they will actually stop a person. And I'm saying in person, face to face, they will say that's not very good English. If you use the word ain't. That kind of shit, they absolutely correct each other. Whereas we won't really do it to black people because it would be considered insensitive, and they often,
But
they have different dialects.
You hear ain't in country music all the time.
Yeah, but they're that's where why do rednecks and blacks have a lot of dissimilar words because they literally that's where do you think black people got it?
That's not even true. That's
absolutely right. Look, there's an entire book written on this. You guys can fucking
wait, I can prove this, King. You have Asian Americans who are white also. And I can't understand a word. Hell, I'm in Texas today, and half of the fucking time that I go to a store or anywhere out and about and I have to listen to people talk, I'm going, first, why does it take you a half hour to get to the fucking point? Secondly, what the fuck are you saying? Because I have no idea what y'all
about Texas, buddy. And look, this is somebody who likes to speak both. I love speaking Ebonics like I have no sense, and I love speaking proper American English. I can do both. We have to be honest about the foundation of these things, though. It's proper to speak it in one context, and it's proper to speak it in another.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You can get grown out of discussions because you're not black enough. You can lose your black card. So you're right about that. But guess what people said? I spoke very well. They said that I spoke Hebrew very well. And they was like, yeah, you have such a good flow and you pronounce the words just right. So I think it's just, I just think it's by chance with people. Maybe the way their teeth are set up. Because I would have never thought I would get complimented on Hebrew.
Black people, we have to be masters.
This is the way your teeth are set up. What?
We have to be
so if I got braids
that's what she meant.
What are we doing?
But somebody's gonna get Southern dialect.
You know,
Can somebody fact check that?
A lot of people
With
when you
racist
speak,
better
the language that you speak does form your mouth.
From the South.
The language that you speak does form your mouth.
King is wild,
Differently. That's
right?
why you meet people who speak multiple languages and they have different mouth structure.
No, King was
And that's what I think it is.
Look,
Not
I'm telling you,
structure.
what's funny is I had braces. I actually had braces.
What are you laughing at?
No, because you kind of tried to tie, I think, the proper speaking of a language to teeth structure. I think you were trying to do that.
I just think that is why some people, like, there's a room called Heavy Hitters on this app.
Yeah.
I won't go in there because he growls. And I know it's a lot of masculine testosterone.
Testosterone
you know.
is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, and some guys don't talk much. Some don't. And those are the ones I'm attracted to because if I'm comfortable with you, I go at it all day. Blah, 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 you know.
All right, guys. Well, let's get back to the.
Yeah, because it gets silly at some point.
No, we're not talking
arguing
about
over
that.
somebody else's language. So, like, imagine hearing the British people listening to all us Americans
Yes.
fuck up that
Finally,
shit.
someone said it.
Yeah.
Just North Carolina's enough. They sound like country mouse.
Yeah, because
Big mouth, Pepe.
we were talking about earlier about free speech, but can speech be considered violence?
No, that's just cope. No.
Speech can lead to violence.
Yeah, it can lead to violence, and we have
If someone
laws against
says,
that.
if you had an issue with someone and you run into them in the store and you meet them in a public place, and they say, "I'm going to kill you," is that violence?
Yeah, we have laws against that.
You're threatening.
Those are fighting. Those are
And
fighting.
they play like that, no, because the girl did that to my coworker
Those
yesterday,
are-
and that's how they play.
But those are fighting.
No, but
correct.
you know,
Exactly,
Like,
but
it's
we're
like,
just
for
using the
instance-
broad term
for instance,
about how
here in
speech
Chicago,
is so
we say-
free, and it's not.
In
you know,
Chicago,
you
we
know what I
say,
think would really demarcate violent speech from actual physical violence? Look, tell somebody, like, you can experiment this. Tell somebody, with all due respect to the panel and everybody in the audience, you can tell somebody, listen, fuck you, right? And punch them in the face and tell them, hey, which one hurts more? And maybe they'll demarcate it.
yeah, but this whole violence is speech is just it's an attempt by people who don't understand the foundation of America and the First Amendment and why this country was set up on those laws. When you advocate for speech as violent stuff like that, you're just exposing that you don't have you have no tie to Americanism as we understand it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you guys may think it's funny, you guys may think it's a joke, but it's not. We need to deport these people. I don't care. We need to deport you. The Constitution is very clear that we are supposed to be guarding against enemies, foreign and domestic. When you are pushing for shit like this, where you're literally espousing things that are contrary to Americanism, I think we need to have an honest conversation so we don't end up having a civil war.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we can deport you to whatever country. We'll give you a flight, $100,000 or however much it is to go to whatever country you think would accommodate you and your retardedness. We have to be honest about this.
I don't think they would go, King.
I think a lot of people wouldn't go, actually, Alpha. I think there's a lot of LARPers. There's a lot of people who espouse things where if they were put in a society where they have to actually live under the rule sets that they that come out of their mouth, they would flee those countries. And that's the sad part. So many people are literally they don't have the self-awareness to realize they're pushing for things that they would literally never live under.
I would say there's like one thing I noticed where it is, like in the UK, I'll see Muslims in the UK, they're saying like, I think it should be illegal to criticize any religion, not just Islam. And it's just like, so wait, hold on a second. So you're basically saying you want to change, they don't have true freedom of speech in the UK, but, more so than
In Europe, they don't even have it in Europe.
Exactly. And so
I mean, you
it's
can
like,
say something, it's just not codified, so you can easily
Yeah.
get caught up in it. You can easily get caught up in Scotland, you know, because I wanted to check on some things, and they was like, now the people you hanging around speak Gaelic, so they gonna make fun of them in court and say, what did you say? So yeah, Europe is a hot mess when it comes to freedom of speech. You have to be very careful what you say and how you gonna get yourself out of it.
yeah, so like in the UK you have like these Muslims who are basically they can't behave themselves if you if you insult Islam. They want to just make it so that you can't criticize any religion. Like they somehow think that that would be a good middle ground, which, you know, I do absolutely think that when it comes to certain people, especially immigrants from certain places, yeah, that should never be accepted. You should never accommodate those people.
But see, this is the thing, Pepe. Like when people try to, you know, live their lives according to what is ideal as opposed to what is actually real and affects them tangibly, that's where delusion happens. See, like you have people right now calling for, what do you call it, heresy laws, right? No, just no, because what do you mean by heresy law? Maybe I worship, I don't know, maybe I worship the Ferraris as a horse and as a car. So should that be also part of the law to accommodate my sensibilities? These things are so ambivalent and ambiguous. Where do you draw the line, man? That's my issue with it. Where do you draw the line? It's either free speech for everybody, for nobody. That's the thing. But what we are seeing right now is people saying no, free speech for me, no speech for you. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. It just goes back to what we were talking about earlier this week. People don't know how to dialogue, how to get a point over, how to persuade, how to market, how to do elevator. They just, you know, you have a lot of people just don't want to hear it, and it's a good amount of them on this app. In certain types of rooms, you have to.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case.
More for entertainment.
But I don't think
they're kind of entertainment.
I don't think it's necessarily the case. Like with a lot of, like for example, the Muslim immigrants in the UK, it's not that they can't dialogue. It's just that they I mean, where they come, it's punishable by death, and they're intolerant to people criticize Islam.
Very intolerant. Very, very intolerant. Yeah. To the point, like, the women, they need to stay a step behind their husbands, because in Arlington County, Virginia, they are something else. I'd be like, pack up off of me, you know, like that. And they don't mean any harm. They evade your personal space.
Good afternoon, Pepe.
Hello.
How are you? I mean, Tweeko.
I haven't spoken to you in a while, Fatima.
I know you miss me.
Ooh, wait.
Yep.
What's that all about?
It's my business.
Y'all don't know, man, Pepe love black women.
Publicity of the other side.
Yeah, y'all could just mind y'all business. But, Pepe, I wanted to chime in on this conversation. Did y'all talk about why free speech is an American thing?
I didn't.
So, the basis of free speech was so that, remember when before America was independent from the British, they weren't allowed to criticize the government or the king. So once they created this new democracy, they wanted people to be able to argue and criticize and, you know, talk about how they felt about things. And they always wanted that to be, you know, protected. That was they wanted their views, especially those that were unpopular, to be protected with the First Amendment. I think it is amendment, where, you know, you have free speech. So with that being said, Americans are rooted in democracy. They're rooted in free speech. They're rooted in free autonomy because the founding fathers didn't know what rule or authority was. They were trying to get away from it so that they can create their own rule or authority for others, right? Because they wanted to create their own systems. And that system is what we are in today. Those founding fathers found a way to basically monopolize off of their own voices and suppress others.
And who taught you this?
Your daddy.
My dad was definitely a great teacher.
She's not wrong because, like, wait, she's not wrong, DJ, because, like, in 17th.
You must wasn't listening to the actual lessons that my daddy was teaching you.
All right, DJ, she's not wrong.
Okay,
in
tell me.
1735, a famous journalist was prosecuted, hung, and killed because of seditious speech because he was a printer, Peter Zengler. And the founding fathers, when they were drafting the Constitution, actually said, hey, we don't want this kind of thing. Also, they believed it was a safety valve. They had watched numerous plot and oppression occur throughout Europe. And they said if people actually have the ability to speak about their grievances with the government, to be able to vocalize them and feelings, nor breed more revolutionary types to overthrow the government. Plus, it provides a safety check on the government, which the people can be informed and discuss the topics of the day at hand with their representatives and a government accountable for the people, by the people, we the people.
Well, more importantly, they knew it was vital to a free republic.
A free republic?
A free republic, it was vital. You have to have it. In order to have a free republic, you have to have freedom of speech.
That's true.
And these are the things people like John Locke wrote about.
Othello.
I thought it would be the freedom of democracy.
Othello, I read your thing about how you want Ben Shapiro and who is this other guy?
Jon Stewart?
Not Jon Stewart. Your comments about Jon Stewart. Kash Patel need to go. Kash Patel is not going anywhere. He's actually doing a fairly decent job. I mean, for all once, he's done a lot of improvement. He's done a lot of coordination. He's done targeting. He's put, like, people back on sexual crimes instead of putting them on political desks like Biden's administration. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of the moves he's making within the FBI. I'm sorry that your favorite pundits who like to go on, Sunday morning talk shows and get their 15 minutes of fame aren't there anymore, but I'm pretty happy to see those guys go. But as far as Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro were the polite ones. Like, they're really nice. The only problem with Ben Shapiro is he talks too damn fast. He's like a honey badger on meth in his debate styles.
But he sucks on helium before he talks.
He could be, but you have no idea who in the conservative circle is now getting elevated. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to continue to say this. You have Nick Fuentes, and you guys, you don't know shit about him other than the fact you don't like him. That's it. And he has said some racist things. And I will say this. He has said some racist things. He is much more than anything else there. And he's elevated. You're bringing out Milo Yiannopoulos. He's coming back. Thank you. Because I really wanted to hear the shit from Milo again in my life. And a host of others. You're going to have a huge network. You just handed the Republicans the midterms, the next presidential election, the election after that. And you're going to have more of society saying, no, I don't agree with the leftist ideas. And you're still wanting to cancel free speech, which is why you prove the point that the right does not need to come to the table and actually talk with the people on the left anymore.
That's the
What
thing,
they
I
ought to
agree.
do is hit the left with the table and just mud stomp them as they march on over and just do what they want to do anyway.
I agree with the Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens of the world. I'm on their side. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that there was an inner fight between the Nick Fuentes and the Candace Owens of the world and the Charlie Kirk ideologies. And that fight was over American blind support of Israel.
Well, not necessarily the fight, because that also pushed her out of daily the Daily with Shapiro, it kind of pushed her out of Turning Point, you know. But the thing that I was looking at her yesterday, and she said, you know, there are people who think they can fill Charlie's spot at a company he once owned that have no business there, and she said she'll die, you know, protecting the company from them.
You'll never see Candace Owens. You'll never see Nick Fuentes get the kind of recognition that Trump got because of stances on Israel. They can never really get on the political unless the U.S. takes its government lobbies like AIPAC and whatnot. So you'll see them as like as high as like a podcaster. You know what I mean? But you'll never see political.
Because they look at the AIPAC. They look at the AIPAC as a foreign entity.
Why are you so focused? Like every conversation. So here's the problem. You're so focused on what the Jews, like, oh my God, we gotta get rid of the Jews because I don't want to be the targeting group. Listen, I have never stop, hold on. I have never met more people who are afraid of one of the smallest demographics on the fucking planet. You don't have to go through that spill. I'll go through whatever I want to because I wore the uniform and actually fought for it. And I don't care about free speech from the left. I don't care about that. That's not what's going on. Why? Israel, like, you know, Israel is not our closest ally. It's not even the one we pay the most money. I understand. You don't even understand how the economy works in terms of it. Nor do I give a fuck about it. If you were really pissed off about a lot of things, particularly 9/11, like you claim, like I've heard you say, you would be like really pissed off at a country, I don't know, like Saudi fucking Arabia, where they were fucking where they were fucking funded,
And
where
Brad,
there's only
also
one
Saudi
goddamn
Arabia has
president.
guys in the lobby.
How about you just listen? How about you listen instead of talking because you interrupt me? So now I don't have to be polite. See, you don't even. I don't have to be fucking polite to you. You don't even know the perspective that I'm talking about. Who can't fucking actually sit there and listen. You want to just go on and have your fucking viewpoint, and no one else can distinguish it because you just want to go with your anti-Semitic fucking rant that you hate fucking Jewish people. I don't know if you're craving Jewish God or the fact that you weren't fucking breastfed by a Jewish woman and you feel left out. I don't give a shit about what your fucking viewpoint is because I don't have to respect you. I don't have to sit there and take it from someone who's so afraid of a small minority of fucking people, and then you want to just run your fucking mouth on anybody else contributes. Hey, I want to fucking go ahead and do this. I don't give a fuck about that because you're last week you went on anti-Semitic rant. We have you recorded. I don't care what you have recorded. I don't give a shit about anything you say right now. I don't give a fuck. I will not be respectful to you because you went on an anti-Semitic rant. You cannot. You don't have anything. And again, I don't give a fuck. You can laugh all you want to. You're the one that's sitting there saying you're big gag. You went on an anti-Semitic rant just last week. You were afraid of that shit. You're afraid of some fucking Jewish guy drag his nutsack up and down your face. Like, is this a clone? I don't fucking know what the hell you're talking about. Again, you're just fucking spewing shit while talking, and you want to be platformed. So now I'm going to platform you, fucking fat Patel. Whatever your bullshit is, whatever your fucking little wannabe fucking everybody asked Brad. I don't give a fuck. Everybody asked Brad. You sound an asshole. You sound like some fucking twat. You sound like a crybaby who wasn't there. Why you came, Brad? Why you sound like? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you can't even fucking have respect. You can't have fucking patience. You can't even articulate. Which is why I'm going to tell the right to take people like Othello and just like toss them. Just throw them. Beat them. Run them over with a car. Do that shit over and over again. We were all in the room. Can't get through until you can't. Because again, they don't give a fuck. They just want, they're pro-Palestine, which is a whole bunch of suicide bombers who can't figure out how to use a fucking dead man. What happened in my playroom? They want to throw gay people off of roofs. That's all great. That's all pro-LGBT. Why the fucking dick in his face? Why the change of heart? Again, I don't understand what you are still. Why the big change of heart? I don't have a change of heart. I have last week. Fucking 5 years. You went on a 10-minute anti-Semitic rant just last week. Why the change? I was talking shit on Jewish people last week. No one's ever heard me talk shit on anybody.
You went
You
with Andy
fucking moron.
and
And
my
if you
first
said
room
anything,
just
if you're
last
trying to
week.
equate my critique of the Israeli government talking about their civil rights
Why the change,
issues
Brad?
and all of their government, that's
Why
not
the
fucking being
change all of a sudden?
anti-Semitic, you fucking
Why the change
dumb-ass
all of a sudden?
fucking piece of shit. Go back, read a book.
Why
I'll
the
tell you
change
what,
all
you
of a
need a
sudden?
library card, I'll teach you how
Why
to
the
sign
change
up
of
for
heart?
one of those. I'll teach you how to go order books
What
online.
happened?
There's
Did
this
they
app
have a
called
talk with you?
Amazon. You can order those.
Did they have
There's
a round
bookstore
table
called
with you,
Barnes
Brad?
and Noble. You can go in and buy books. There's a school that will literally teach you.
Hey,
There's
Brad,
old
did they have
people
a
at
round
the senior
table with you?
center that will teach you how
Did
to
they have a
fucking
round
read.
table with you?
I mean, again, the
Oh,
ignorant
I
side
get
is
it.
nothing.
I
You don't
get it.
have
I'm not
anything.
speaking
I don't
towards
give a
your left
fuck,
versus
dude.
right agenda.
You don't have anything
I'm
on
not
it because
speaking
again,
towards your civil-
everybody on this
Is it the
stage,
Civil War
in this
agenda?
audience, in 5 years
Nobody believes
knows
you.
me. You don't have
Nobody
any
believes
inner
the Civil
secrets
War
on me,
agenda.
motherfucker.
Nobody believes that there's a left versus right war. I'm sorry, Brad. You can't push it. It's
Oh,
done.
really?
It's done.
Oh, wait, there's not a left versus right
No,
war?
no.
What, really?
No.
I didn't watch Charlie Kirk get
It's a
assassinated,
psyop.
you dumb
It's a
fucking
psyop
moron.
that nerds like
You
you
dumb
trying to push.
fucking moron.
It's a
You
psyop
fucking
that
piece
nerds
of
like
shit.
you are trying to push.
vile fucking cum state
It's a
that
psyop
has
that
it
nerds
fucking
like
there.
you
You
are-
thwarted
You ain't gonna do
humanity. You
You're
can't
gonna be
fucking
on
figure it out.
Clubhouse
There's
talking
not. It's
about it.
going shut.
And-
You know what?
and
I'm
somebody
so
else's
glad
kid is gonna fire
people
the
are
trigger.
so sensitive like you over MLK.
You're gonna be on
because I'm
Clubhouse
glad.
talking
I'm
about it,
glad
and
that
somebody
the
else's
MLK
kid is gonna fire the
and
trigger.
others are getting shot because it
Because of
feels your
people like
feelings
you.
so much.
It's
I
a
don't give a
psyop.
fuck.
And you're
Fuck all
pushing
that
it.
shit.
Your old
I
ass
don't
is
care.
pushing it.
I don't really care.
You need to go sit
Anymore,
down,
you haven't
have a
done
mantra,
shit, you haven't said shit,
go
you
look
haven't
at your
proved
retirement
shit. You
plan.
don't. There's not a war coming. You know what? You're right. I wish the conservatives would mount up and do a war because pussies like you can't even
Oh, you
serve
wish
to
for a
defend
war?
this fucking
Look,
country.
this guy-
To wear a uniform,
Idiot.
and all you can do is play Call of Duty and
Oh,
act like
I
you
go
know
war.
about war.
I
You
wanna
haven't
be a war
scaled those
against my
seas.
neighbor.
You didn't jump out of an
Yeah,
airplane.
that's
You didn't
war.
fucking fire down range. You didn't have to get shot at. And all you do is laugh from the
You're trying to
basement
push
of
a
your
style.
mommy
You're
while
trying
you're
to push
sitting
a
there
style
going,
on these
Mom,
good
can I have
ass
more
people.
minutes for my cell phone?
They don't
I'm a
want a
grown
fucking war,
30-year-old
Brad.
man who doesn't have a fucking
They don't
job.
want a war.
You don't have a
They don't
fucking
want a
job. You
fucking
don't
war.
contribute to society.
You're
And you
trying
want
to
the
push
U.S.
a
government,
psyop.
mainly people on the state,
You're
to
trying
pay
to
for
push
you.
a psyop.
Fuck your psyop
You're trying to push
bullshit.
a psyop.
You're a fucking weird
They just slap the
motherfucker.
shit out you when they stick
Hey,
you.
it's all yours. Have fun with this
You know
fucking
that?
one.
Bitch ass nigga.
Thought about that?
Bitch ass, I would swear to God, dude, I would bend your mama over and give you a brother.
Do what you gotta do.
Piece of shit.
Don't be mad when somebody Charlie Kirk.
You ain't gonna do it. I tell you what, yeah, have somebody come. I have
you're
guns,
pushing
I
for
have
war, you
weapons.
gonna get
Come
popped,
play.
too.
You wanna fucking come play? Come play, motherfucker.
You
Show
ain't-
up
you
at
ain't
the
about
door.
to do
Come
nothing.
on,
You're a
motherfucker.
fucking
You
lame
talk
ass
along.
white man
Let's
in
go.
Idaho.
Talk
You ain't
along.
doing shit.
Come on, let's go.
You're
You
trying to
wanna
push
come up
people
and
into
shoot
a
me?
fucking civil
Come on.
war
I
in the
dare you,
United
you
States.
fucking
You
punk
ain't
ass
doing
bitch.
shit.
You're fucking
You're pushing
nothing.
a psyop.
You're nothing. You wouldn't do anything.
You're
You know what
pushing
you
a
are?
psyop.
You'd walk
You're a
out,
bitch.
out on the sidewalk, you'd look down at the
You're
ground.
pushing a
and
psyop.
Stupid motherfucker.
You're pushing a
You would
psyop.
look down at me. You would bend
You're
your
pushing
knee.
a
I'll
psyop
have you
to be
lick my
arrested.
fucking toes, motherfucker.
You should be
I'll put
arrested.
you to
You're
fucking work.
un-American.
I'll have you gardening
pushing
in
a
my
psyop
fucking
on the
backyard.
American
I'll have
people.
you doing that shit.
We need to be
I'll-
healing.
Brad, you need to knock up his mom and give him another brother, and you'll be his stepdaddy, and then you can ground him and take his fucking phone away.
Woo-hoo.
That's
Good
why.
Motherfucker.
Good God, Brad is another one of these motherfuckers pushing a psyop on the American people when we need to
Yeah,
be
what if
healing
you're
right
pushing
now.
a psyop that is
Yeah, they're pushing a
anti-Semitic
psyop on a
Have you ever
fake,
thought about
a
that?
fake civil war.
Or have people think you're pushing a psyop? Have you thought about that?
They're pushing a fake civil war on your kids so they can pull the
Yeah,
trigger.
I didn't go out and shoot Benjamin fucking Crump,
Yeah,
did I?
stop it.
Or
Stop it.
fucking Farrakhan, or any of them motherfuckers,
Stop it.
did I?
You're pushing
But
a
no,
psyop.
your
I mean,
son
good
fucking
American
decided to come
Stop
shoot fucking Charlie Kirk.
Just
They
because
did-
your own
they
ass
did that
is
shit.
bored,
They did that
you
shit,
know,
and then you want to go
it's a
healing.
psyop.
Fuck your
Stop it.
healing shit. You know what? You
Just
got
'cause
pissed
you're
off
old,
when you
wrinkle
got pissed
ass
off when, what was it,
bored,
Carmelo Anthony was fucking having a.
Just because your old ass is bored, you're pushing us.
My old ass still can whoop the fucking black off.
We won't let you do it.
Who's we? You ain't got nobody.
We won't let
you don't
you
have
do it.
anybody.
Left and right.
There's nobody.
We won't let you do it.
You aren't that tough, dude. Nobody wants to
Cash
follow.
Patel is being.
You don't have it. I hope Cash Patel does come and get you. I hope he does. I hope he does round you up. I want fucking broken windows implemented. I want stop and frisk. I want stopping beatings to actually start.
Jon Stewart didn't let Ben Shapiro do it.
Hey, you know what? Stopping beatings sound great. I want to do that. I want to see people like you stop beating. I want Rodney King to look like a fucking Hallmark movie.
We're not going to let you do it. We're not going to let you do it, right? And
going to let you do it.
But Othello, you're pushing a psyop of anti-Semitism on them too, don't you think?
No, I'm not pushing out a psyop of anti-Semitism, but China just said today that America and Israel betrayed the world.
Wait, this dipshit is getting his news from China, and he's going to swallow that.
We're being lumped
the fucking pile of cum from his fucking grandfather.
We're not going to let him do it.
Holy shit!
We're not going to let him do it.
Anything out of Xi Jinping's fucking little aid.
We just want to be American.
You sniff the whole part all the way up. Are you all the way in that? Are you all the way in that? You're taking China's information? Are you a fucking moron?
Yeah, you guys are dumb. You guys are focused on the pawns.
You are too fucking stupid. I definitely want to follow China's
right war. That's what they
I want to. Part of the problem is you leftists are too fucking up there in the ass of fucking China. Burying your face down in it. You actually pull your head out. So I'm going to the day I listen to fucking China, the day I listen to fucking China for you little twat waffles, I'm going to fucking. No, I don't care. I want to see that. I want to see that shit. I really want to see that shit. I don't give a flying fuck.
We won't let you do
listening to China. China told me the Jews are bad. That's your fucking
We won't let you do it. It's not about Jews, baby.
Fucking idiot.
You can't do that.
You are proven to the state.
It's not about Jews. It's about
you actually have a conversation.
It's not about
shit. You are too fucking ignorant. You're the reason why we have to sit there and have to deal with fucking stupid shit like Israeli-Palestine. Meanwhile, you have no problem killing Charlie Kirk.
His source is the South China Post. I mean, isn't that...
He's a fucking idiot.
Charlie Kirk was a pawn. Okay, George Floyd is a fucking pawn.
You're a pawn if you're listening to fucking China, you dumbass. And they're not even paying you. They're not even giving you a reach around. You're doing it free.
Trying to push the left versus right agenda on these good American people.
George Floyd was a pawn? Wait, how was George Floyd a pawn?
And you're un-American for that. We're not going to let
that was a predicate felon, bro.
We're not going to let you do it. They want us to fight each other right now. That's the whole psyop.
I want to fight you because you're fucking retarded and fucking up to fucking China. Because you're getting your information, whatever BBC that China has rolling in your ass balls, and you're fucking spitting out fucking cum because you're like, yes, daddy, China, give me some more. I want some extra jump with that cum of some young guy over there. You're sitting there going, I need that in my life. You are sitting there going, believe me, that I gotta believe fucking China. Fuck China. Fuck that.
You sounded like an agent with an agenda. That's what you sounded like.
I'm not quoting China's sources, ass. You sound like the agent, you moron. Do you even hear yourself?
You gotta be
kidding me. You retarded. You are beyond.
You're retarded for pushing a spy on these good American people. There's no left versus right war. And you won't stop it until another politician dies. You guys want to fucking China. Kill another
fucking China. The same country that sent 5 balloons over here. I get it. You're a Biden sympathizer. I get it. You're just all about that. Fucking you know what? I don't need soldiers to go to a civil war with a type of you. Our crab fishermen in Alaska who fucking defeated the Chinese Navy. Shit, I might as well march out the conservative women because that might be a fair fight for you. At least they don't fucking beat the shit out of you. None of that shit. Nobody's listening to you because you want to quote China.
You're not killing shit. Nobody.
I don't want to fucking China.
America should be healing.
You know what's funny about a statement is that at this time right now, when emotions are in commotion, right? A Chinese-owned social media company like TikTok is shutting down anyone with right-leaning views just so that it can make them feel like they're being, sidelined, right? And it's amplifying all these idiots that are supposedly on the left to create this atmosphere of animosity. So, Attilo, your China is the provocateur.
No, you guys are the provocateur in these rooms pushing a fake-ass left versus right propaganda psyop agenda on the American people. Luckily, John Stewart taught it.
TikTok is amplifying that.
Ben Shapiro tried to do it.
But TikTok is amplifying that by banning people who defend
I'm
Charlie Kirk
proud of America. I'm proud of us for catching that bullshit. Now they're questioning Cash Patel for his complicity.
I want 20 more Cash Patel yourselves against fucking Chinese psyop agents, fake fucking. You know what? I'm gonna call you paper cake because we already got. I'm gonna call you paper. Just so the two of you can be together. Paper fucking tiger. That's what you guys are. Fucking rice paper going through. Listen, I don't give a shit what those like fucking Chinese fuckers have to say. I don't give a flying fuck about what you want. I don't care about how much you think they're great. I don't give a fuck about your opinion from China. If I wanted China's opinion, I'd walk over there, I'd smack the fucking kung pao chicken out of their heads, and then I would drag it and told them. I don't give a fuck. Listen, just like we thought we wait. Just like we should that the U.S. should show them how the sunset was on their nation, who's got the bigger fireworks. I can promise you we can do that to China without a fucking blink in the eye. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what China says. China's non-relevant. China doesn't have anything on the U.S. I don't give a flying fuck what China says. You guys sucking up to China is the cringiest shit I've ever heard of.
Bullshit. Get off the boo.
Social company, the social media company that is actually, look, this is what it's doing. In this time, at this sensitive time, at this time where sensibilities are on fire, okay, and people are looking for things that you're talking about. Listen for a moment. The social media company of TikTok, owned by China, is banning accounts and suppressing accounts that are trying to be on Charlie Kirk's side while amplifying the lunatics who are celebrating his death. Now, you tell me, is that conducive to the current atmosphere in the United States?
Look, but again, Elsa is not that bad. It's Othello that like is quoting China, and then he's wanting us to listen to fucking China. This fucking moron who's never done anything in his life, who's still living in mama's basement.
Retired pedophiles on Clubhouse pushing a left versus right war among Americans. That is so un-American.
Come on, bro.
Period.
That's what TikTok is doing, though. That's what I'm telling you.
But anyway, they have a military person who's overseeing Cash Patel.
Cash Patel's being questioned right now by our Senate.
Right, and they have a guy that works at this, a white guy in the military, works at the Pentagon, high-ranking person, and technically is the head of the FBI. Because Cash Patel blowed to profile a white guy who killed Kirk, because no black person really had that much vindication for him.
No, this guy's gonna tell you that you have to listen to China. Every time you open your mouth, I'm going to put you
we know you're trying to deflect the room, but nobody
fucking
believes
cuckold that wants China.
Nobody
hey, you want America there. You want to sell us off to that shit.
Called you out.
You didn't call me out. Nobody. Listen, dude. Nobody here called me out for shit. You can't. You don't have me. My agenda is not to fucking sell me to fucking China, nor my kids. Nor allow fucking idiots to believe China doesn't have nefarious means or intent. And you can't even name a fucking city in China, but you're going to quote their news. You can't even find fucking the capital of China on a map, and you're going to tell me I need to listen to that. You don't know anything about their economic policies. You don't know anything about their military construct. You have no idea. You have nothing. But you want me to listen to China because you think you have some mysticism because China tells you how great it is to live there. Let me tell you how great it is to live in China. They fucking steal people up in their rooms to die, and they're home while they had COVID. They tortured people. They killed millions of people when they came into power. But you don't have a fucking clue. You are too retarded to actually listen. You know what? You need to go quote Pol Pot. You would have a better chance with Pol Pot and Latin. You would have had a better shot with any of them. But you can't even fucking do that. You went to China. You simple fucking cuckold. I can't believe it. I can't believe that there's this moron. It's your room, but you can have the Chinese cook up here doing his like little fucking rhetoric all day long.
We're not gonna let you push that agenda. I'm sorry.
You know what? I want everybody to lock up and put into fucking internment camps. Chinese sympathizers. Anybody who speaks for China at a great limit, I think we need to open up internment camps and lock them up for
Luke Big, TTR.
Oh shit, that's me?
Yep. Albino, alopecia.
Oh shit, where's his chest though?
Wait, did you guys know that Ludwig has albinism and
Wait,
alopecia?
what in the world's going on here? Is talking about
Ludwig.
Your mom is.
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking.
Your mom is.
Ludwig, I've seen your real picture. You have albinism, and you have alopecia, which is fucking wild. You're literally powdery.
And still, your mom is.
Now the real psyop began, like right now with the albinism stuff.
The best thing to come out of this death is the Charlie Kirk Act. Why? Because the Charlie Kirk Act is going to hold people like Brad and people that are pushing this left versus right agenda responsible for any more deaths. Check it out. It's called the Charlie Kirk Act. Anybody pushing this propaganda on good American people, trying to get our kids involved, trying to radicalize our kids to go shoot another politician, slap the shit out of them when you see them. America needs to heal right now.
Wait, how do you stop violence by going and
slap the shit out of them?
Yo, come on, man.
Anybody pushing that propaganda, slap. And then Charlie Kirk.
Anybody who quotes China and tries to do this, you run them over with a car. You fucking accidental fucking backing them up in a parking lot. You know what? It won't even be a hate crime at this point. Like, I'm fine with it.
I mean, Othello, you keep on saying that this is like somehow it's not right versus left. Okay, all you've been seeing are a bunch of. Well, first of all, you have this faggot that ended up. I don't know if he's trying to impress his boyfriend or I don't even know what the fuck he's doing.
You know, that's what he is.
And so, like, he ended up shooting him because, you know, he was a lefty that hated his views. And then we've seen all of the American lefties, not Chinese people, sit here and, you know, celebrate his death. These are real Americans that had real American jobs, and so they got fired in America. I mean, this is left versus right. For whatever reason, you think that it's like. It's not real. This is stupid.
It's a fight between the right wing. It's right on right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're really
slipping, that were celebrating his death and not and like I like what do you think it's actually about? It's right versus right. I mean that is stupid.
It's right versus the right wing. It's
you're letting these blacks get away with way too much.
It's between the Nick Fuentes of the world and it's between the Charlie.
It has nothing to do with Nick Fuentes. Fucking idiots.
This is an infight in the right wing.
I told you this. I told you he was
a
fucking
have
idiot.
a lot to do with Fuentes. You listen to some of Candace tapes when it comes
Listen
to
to the fucking idiot
Just last night.
I mean, we know that I know and I've known for years that the Groypers and Turning Point USA have been publicly feuding with each other. That's actually how the Groypers really made a name for themselves, is trolling Charlie Kirk on his campus tours. And you know, it's pretty outrageous.
He didn't know this stuff. He doesn't know those.
But you know what is
He's quoting fucking China. He's quoting Chinese sources.
He's quoting TikTok University.
I'm connecting all
the journal of TikTok
together because I actually research and I study. And
no. You have Chinese Pooh Bear dick in your butthole, and so you need to cleanse those chocolate cheeks and get that Pooh Bear dick out of your butthole.
From the actual subject matter, but it's not going to.
That was not ad hominem. That was factually accurate.
This is what we do.
Hold on. You know what I found funny?
You look like powder. Shut the fuck up.
Maybe I'm next. Look, Andrew Tate, you are not a debater, okay? And nobody's after you, Andrew Tate. The only people after you are those women from Romania.
Wait, why are we talking about Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate don't have shit to do with what the fuck is going on right now.
Come on, bro, stop it, man. Andrew Tate coming out saying, maybe I'm next. Man, shut up, bro. You're not that important. Shut up.
It's a little off the beaten path, but he already was next for, you know, basically freedom of speech when they got house arrest in Romania.
No, that was for sex trafficking.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
No, that was sex trafficking.
He's never been charged, let alone be.
No, he's been charged. You mean?
But they make up shit with you when you do have freedom of speech.
Oh my god, the biggest conspiratorial person on here.
And keep in mind,
please, anything that you don't agree with is conspiratorial.
That's because they hide.
My truth is my truth.
You're huge into conspiracy theories, Connie. What are you talking about?
Well, you're not my man, so I'm not gonna sign.
You know what I found funny though, Othello? Like, you're not consistent, man. You cannot come and tell me that, China is somehow caring about the state of the world, especially what's happening in Israel or what's happening in America. Do you know why? Because, like I said, TikTok is the one right now perpetuating what you are talking against.
What I'm saying is, you don't have to respect China, but what I'm saying is...
No, it's not about respecting China. I'm just saying if China was an honest broker of truth,
let me respond to you.
Then the social media companies...
It doesn't matter what I'm saying.
How do you feel about the weakness?
China used their voice to denounce us, and that's it. Now, whether you respect them or not,
that's not the point
I'm bringing up the point that China used their voice to denounce us today.
No, look, what I'm telling you is this. If China was an honest broker of truth, not that they cannot be, but at the moment they're not. What I'm saying is if they were honest brokers of truth, right, the social media company owned by them, TikTok, would not be attempting to suppress one side and amplify the other because they know at this
point, they have their own skeletons, I understand.
Things are edgy. And people will have the perception that we're being suppressed. And it may not necessarily be by the left, but this is what they're doing. They're creating a rift.
I understand that they have their own skeletons.
It has nothing to do with skeletons. I don't think you understand how this works. I don't think you understand how propaganda works. Now, there's a lot of people think that they're somehow trying to, that the ultimate goal of, like, for example, Russia or China is to change our opinions on something. And so that will vote in another way. That's actually not what their goal is. Their goal is to muddy up the waters and damage the reputations and the narratives of both sides so much that Americans will start becoming more apathetic and not trusting either party. It basically is a way just to fuck with the United States so that it's harder for us to get things accomplished, so that we're less unified. And like when it comes to China and like Russian propaganda, I don't think you realize just how harmful it is and why they seek to do it. It's absolutely in their best interest for America to be weakened and for Americans to not really want to be on board with any, especially geopolitical endeavors they might want to accomplish.
Basically, to demoralize them.
Yeah. To Pepe's point. We got to be honest. Israel lost the social media war, and I think the IDF is doing the right thing. But it's just like Pepe was saying, the propaganda has been flooding the social media, and that's where they're losing the war at. So once they tighten that up, I think the American people or people in general that disagrees will change their opinion. But right now, the social media war is getting guys like the guy that's talking about Palestine and Russia and all that. Social media got him. And I don't know if we can ever get those people back, but I land there.
Like, irredeemable, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them back because it's just their thinking is just fundamentally flawed. These are the same people that you have to sit here and have an argument about over what is a woman and all of this other nonsensical thing. So I think the mentality is going to remain the same.
You know what I find funny though, Notori, is that whenever people ask a question, what is a woman, they ask a man instead of asking an actual woman. No, have you guys noticed though? They never ask
most of those men
what is a woman.
Trying to pretend to be women, so you're asking them what the fuck is a woman? Because clearly, under my circumstance, I couldn't call Othello a woman, but I mean, he wants to identify as one, a Chinese woman to be precise. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, has the definition changed? I need to figure this out. Why would I ask Connie? Because she's been a woman all her life. I have to sit there now and figure out what this new interpretation is. And so people like Othello who want to be a Chinese little fucking girl in like one of those dresses, he wants to fucking, have butt plugs and be a woman these days. And I can't figure it out why. I do not know why. They want to be Chinese simps. They want to fucking suck at the dick of Kung Pao chicken and want to fucking have this whole idea that they somehow have the answers and that China is so perfect and China has all these great ideas and inventions and all this shit. When I'm like, do you know the history? Do you know that they kill fucking people? They just murk people. They grab them off the street and murk them. Like, where that shit? Like, their human rights violations are astronomical, but they don't allow people in. And when people do question it, they get fucking murked themselves. Like, China is not nice. It isn't powerful. Its economy is fucking on the brink of collapse.
No one was arguing
It doesn't have an
So
infrastructure.
what is the tariffs doing to China right now?
China is like basically saying we're already broke and we're fucking crippling further. They have entire cities that are empty. They built this shit with money from your tax dollars, and they're empty. There's no one living.
No one was arguing that. I mean,
I
guess that's one way to deflect from the point. I guess.
You should go look up about those cities that China's building. You wanted to attack Israel, and then you wanted to say China told me. So that's your gist is Israel bad because China told me.
So you gotta listen. You gotta listen.
The Jewish people were the reason for Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, which is the furthest from the fucking
truth. What
is
this?
You fucking communist woman.
You're doing some like Karen-esque type shit right now. That wasn't the quote, or that wasn't the point. I'm saying China. I was just saying China used their voice to say that America and Israel betrayed the world, and further, Netanyahu is making us complicit in his crime. Nothing about the Jews, because some Jews believe this.
It's Netanyahu.
Nothing about the Jews.
Wait.
A lot of
Jews did Netanyahu commit? What crimes? Give me the crime. Sit up. Don't Google it.
Okay.
Don't fucking Google it. Don't
you have
use
one
that
crime.
Google. Tell me the fucking.
You have one crime where Netanyahu, right?
Wait. What's the fucking crime?
The crime where Netanyahu led the people that he was supposed to negotiate with for hostages. Yes, it is. Into neutral territory.
What is the fucking
right? Into territory.
What neutral territory? What territory was neutral?
Second, the overkill in Gaza.
Second,
the
territory was listed as
the overkill in
Gaza. There is no neutral territory around Israel. There is no neutrality around Israel. What neutral territory is
in Gaza is his second.
Gaza is not a neutral.
The overkill in
It
Gaza
is not
is
a
his
neutral
second.
territory.
Starving
He did not invade a neutral territory.
Starving Palestinians is his third.
Othello, you know what is so...
is his third.
Othello, you know what is so really... Listen, you know what is so unsubstantial about what you're saying? And along the line of those who criticize Israel, sometimes rightly, sometimes very wrongly. Look, there's been more sanctions against Israel than North Korea, despite North Korea threatening World War III, right? There's been more resolutions against Israel, right, than any other country in the world. So I don't see the neutrality of this.
I don't want to do the what about it.
Israel.
I'm talking about what's happening on the grounds right now. The what about.
You don't even know what's happening on the ground. That's neutral territory. You can't name a crime, and you're citing all this shit because you
named 3
have
crimes.
some Chinese rappers.
I just named 3 crimes.
You didn't give anything.
I
You
just
haven't
named 3
provided
crimes.
one fact.
I just named 3
back up
crimes.
or substantiate one
I
fact.
just named 3
You
crimes.
didn't name a crime. There's no neutrality around Israel.
I just named 3 crimes.
There is no neutrality
Hold on, Brad.
Let them go at it, dude.
No, I was just gonna mention something. Monica text messaged me. She said you need to get your niggers in check.
Amazing. All right, go ahead.
I let him know, Monica.
Did she really do that?
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't. All right, come on, you guys, continue.
But again, there's no neutrality. This idiot is
Wait, hold on.
You haven't even cited one fucking crime. You haven't cited one example. You haven't backed it up. Netanyahu has not violated any of the quote neutrality agreements that are out there that you claim exist because it's not there. All you want to do is blame Jewish crimes. That's what you is. That's what you have. You're like, I want to stand with pro-Hamas fucking cocksuckers that want
You
to
were just
fucking murder people,
anti-Semitic
want
last
to rape
week.
American citizens.
Brad,
you are
you
that
were
Chinese
just
because I hate to
anti-Semitic
tell you
last
this.
week. What
On
happened?
October 7th, there were Americans that were raped, tortured, kidnapped.
You were just
and you know what?
anti-Semitic last
For nothing
week,
more than
Brad.
going to a music fucking
Wait, am I the
festival.
only person
and
that
act
heard
like
Brad's
you want to support
anti-Semitic
the
rant?
side that fucking
You were
rapes
just
Americans.
anti-Semitic rant
Fuck
last
you.
week.
Fuck your
We
shit.
don't trust
Fuck your
you.
little wannabe
We
ass.
can't
Go
trust
the
you.
fuck home.
Brad,
Get the
we
fuck
can't
out of my
trust you.
country.
You were just
Go to whatever
anti-Semitic
mud hut
last
you
week.
want to sit for and go
No,
die there
he
so
was
we
just
put a warhead
anti-Semitic
on
last week.
your
What
forehead.
Did
Get
he
the
get
fuck
blessed
out
on
of
the
here.
ground by
I
Hashem?
don't give a fuck. You fucking are
did he have
against
some
Americans.
grand
You're
awakening?
okay with rape, torture,
Did he have some
kidnapping,
grand
and
awakening?
murder of Americans. You
You
support
were
the
just
fucking group
anti-Semitic
that
last
did
week.
that shit. That's
Can we
what
go
you
one
are.
at a
You
time?
fucking cock monkey piece of shit.
Brad, you were just anti-Semitic last week. Now you're anti-black.
No one has
What's
ever
going
heard
on?
me be anti-Semitic.
What's going on?
No one has ever heard me. Fuck you.
You were,
Fuck that
you were
horse.
anti-Semitic
Fuck
and you
everything
did
you
the
said.
same rant against the Jew, and you
I never gave you a rant against the Jews.
Yes,
Never.
you did. Last week in my
Just give me the fucking audio clip. Because I can promise you in 5 years, I have never said anything
Brad has
anti-Semitic
never
about
been
Jewish people. I don't give a
anti-Semitic.
fuck.
We don't know who the
Connie has. Brad
Brad
has
has
not.
never been anti-Semitic.
Yeah, Connie has.
I can't be because I have a heritage of Ashkenazi either. So I don't.
He was
want to
anti-Semitic in my friend's room just last week. Okay? He was doing the same shit where he goes off on anybody that has a different opinion than him.
Critiquing Israel or critiquing someone who comes in and gives a lie about Israel, gives a lie about something else, and pushing back saying, hey, no, we are perfect angels, we do all this shit. That's not fucking being anti-Semitic, you fucking twat waffle. That is not. What I said is when that idiot came up there and said, we're not killing people, we're doing the most righteous and religious and moral war without the least amount of carnage or damage, and I said, that's bullshit because I can pull up the videos of missiles attacking. You can critique Israel's stance. You can critique the politics of Israel. Fuck the country before October 7th was marching in the goddamn streets. I can go ahead and do that. But what I don't do is sit there and condemn a whole group of people. And I sure as shit don't sit there and side with the people that fucking raped, tortured, and murdered American fucking citizens at a music festival and then say, oh, Israel's the problem. Israel's the problem. No, you're the fucking problem.
We literally doing the same thing.
You're the fucking problem.
We're literally doing the same thing.
You being the fucking problem.
Literally
you
doing the
need
same
to have
thing.
your head
We're
fucking
literally
beaten
doing
in.
the same
I
thing.
want this. I want BLM. I want
You just
I want American. American lives fucking matter. You piece of shit. You vile, disgusting human being. When you figure out your priorities, then you can come talk to me.
You're doing the same
Until
thing,
then,
Bradley.
you stay in your fucking
You're
wretched
doing the same
Palestinian,
thing.
fucking Hamas,
You're doing the
fucking
same thing,
Hamilton,
Bradley.
whatever fucking bullshit
You're doing
you
the
want
same
to do.
thing.
I don't give a fuck. I stand in between you and the fucking and people everywhere who have fucking shit.
We're doing the same thing,
Stupid fucking idiot. Go back and pretend that you're a fucking Chinese girl. Make your little Google voices on TV and go back to doing your fucking OnlyFans for fucking gay Chinese men. That's what you need to do. Fucking piece of shit faggots.
Why the change? You were anti-Semitic just last week. You went on your whole rant against the Jews just last week in my friend's room. Oh, what changed? Did you have some grand realization by Hashem? What happened?
But that had to be bipolar because I've been watching Brad and I've never seen him act like that.
I don't care what it is.
He's making shit up and he's fucking going over a story about Israeli politics and being anti-Semitism.
Brad, are we not familiar with each other from
Yeah, we've known each other 5 fucking years. Like this is a whole thing. Even the Jewish community on fucking Clubhouse. So this little twat waffle who wants this.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all said all the rooms are recorded, right?
Community on Clubhouse.
You guys said all the rooms are recorded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go get the recording, dipshit.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm gonna hold a fucking massive room. And we're gonna analyze.
First off, the 2 people that came to your room.
We're gonna analyze
I got there is proof that you can't hold a massive room.
You better hope Kitover doesn't have the
But the
recording.
thing about it is,
you better hope.
but the thing about it is, I'm Ashkenazi descent, and I know about more rooms than you do, and you don't got nothing on Brad.
Listen, honey, you wasn't in the room when I heard it, okay?
Okay, girlfriend.
Why you sound so gay, Othello?
Go ahead and
It
do
was
this
my
for
friend's
entertainment.
Akima,
Go
did you
ahead.
hear that too?
Do this for entertainment.
It was my friend's room, and you were not in there, honey. I was in there, other Jews were in there, and other people were in there. And we all heard his anti-Semitic.
Bring one of the Jews here then. Bring one of
He's
those.
off the rails.
Go ahead. Bring
He
him in.
can't control himself. Look how he tried
All
to
right,
twist my
Brad, I'll be the determining factor here. Go ahead, tell me what you said.
Very simple. I believe someone came up and said Israel is doing a perfect, war. It's the most moral. The same fucking bullshit, optic-wise rhetoric that you've heard on Clubhouse from pro-Israel. I personally say they should just go in and fucking carpet bomb the entire area. I don't give a fuck. Kill grandma, kill fucking whatever. I don't give a fuck. First, they attacked and killed Americans. I've always said that. I don't give a fuck about the people of Gaza. I really don't. I don't care. I don't care about human rights. I don't give a fuck. War is war. But you can tell the twat waffles who have never wore a uniform, which is
not anti-Semitic.
So,
you can only be anti-Semitic against Jews.
That was
and then here's my point.
Anti-Semitism just means hatred of Jews.
But for people of Israel or pro-Israel to come up here and say we are doing the most moral. War is fucking war. I am not giving you like an A in the moral category because I can watch.
Gaza too.
Yeah, you can fucking drop bombs. You're killing civilians. That happens in wars.
Brad, answer this question.
Spare this shit. And again, so I can critique it. Israel has a problem with its civil rights. It's going to have a realization and a culture clash in regards to that. It also needs justice reform, which is why half the country was protesting.
Yeah, every Jew on earth agrees with that.
Yeah, so I'm
not anti-Semitic.
Brad, you didn't tell that Jewish guy this is why everyone hates you. In my friend's room?
It's not anti-Semitic.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Did you say it, Brad?
That's why people get pissed off at Jewish people. Yes, because they come in there with when that guy was going.
Oh yeah, we're super arrogant and condescending.
Everyone hates you.
I mean, it's because we're superior.
Oh, I'm just asking. Did you say it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to do that.
We get down to there's more stuff. But I've established.
Yeah, Othello, we are arrogant and condescending to you people because we're better than you, Othello.
I've established that
here's the point. When you have these Israeli guys come in, and not that I let Othello fucking go off on Jewish people, the way his anti-Semitic is, but what I push back on those very arrogant Israeli individuals who come in and say that Israel can do no wrong. And then you look at the history of it and say, I can highlight this. And currently, the people of today are marching in the streets about justice reform and reformation and civil rights in fucking Israel. Well, then that proves to be a problem that Israel is not absolutely perfect.
Brad, I can tell you one thing that Jews will really care about. Do you believe that Israel has the right to exist as a state?
Of course it has the right to.
There you go. That's all Jews care about.
Okay, well,
anything else is just conjecture.
Go through what you said.
No one cares.
Piece by piece. I'm gonna hold a grand master.
I mean,
we gonna go.
Like I said, Othello, we're above you. You're beneath us. The highest median IQ of any ethnic group on Earth. We hold more wealth than any other group on Earth, especially per capita. Just saying. So Brad's saying that we're like arrogant and that people hate us. I mean, that's justified. No, it's justified. As long as we own you, we don't care if you're mad at us, though. You can be mad at us all you want.
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is getting boring. I mean,
I said that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, never come from you.
And that's what Monica said.
What I don't get is like the blacks, like your guys' whole thing with Jews. Like, why do you care about them so much?
It's not about Jews.
Othello definitely is anti-Semitic. He fucking hates the Jews.
Stuff about all of you. This is why they hate you.
Othello, you're one of the most anti-Semitic people I've met on here.
Only Brad.
You hate the Jews, Othello.
Yeah, but what he said was not anti-Semitic.
We've all said that because when
everybody
knows when you criticize Israel,
there's a certain group of Jews who get upset, and the first thing they want to respond with is you're anti-Semitic, just for even mild criticism of Israel. So it's just like what the blacks do. When you give blacks criticism about the black community, first thing they want to do is what? Call you fucking racist. So all people have called out is, what it does is it makes you look bad. Just like anybody, it shuts down the fucking conversation and the debate and makes it look like you fucking lose. That's the criticism everybody's.
And even if you have a mixed heritage, you get your black card stolen, and they'll whisper things behind your back like, well, I don't like Delia because she's Native American, or you don't act black enough, you don't talk proper enough, which messed my head up as a child because I failed poorly in English and literature classes for some time. But yeah, that is true. That I don't care who you are, if you are not talking about what they want to talk about on their vibe with black people, your card will be taken from you.
Yeah, so it gets old off LO because people want to have a conversation, and again, it goes against American values of freedom of speech, which includes criticism, whatever you want, race, religion, whatever you want. You should be able to criticize and be able to have the conversation. But when people immediately they want to call you homophobe, xenophobe, racist, anti-Semitic, whatever, when you haven't been disrespectful, you haven't condoned any type of violence or taking away people's rights, you just simply want to criticize and have a conversation. It's lame as fuck, and nobody appreciates it.
I agree, and that's what Brad tried to do to me when I was bringing up my point. And so I just held the mirror up to him, and I'm saying, okay, you want to play that game?
Brad, you gotta put your boots back on his neck.
We got the recording on you.
Then play it. You act like I'm scared. You act like I haven't been on Clubhouse nor had some of the largest political rooms that existed out here. Like I've held the same fucking language, the same stance for literally everybody. I critique white people. Othello doesn't get up in his like little fucking fake vagina feeling that way when I critique white people. When I was critiquing the fucking whatever, the one Israeli pro IDF guy who is like, we're angels of God, kind of coming down. He didn't get upset then. When it comes to it, and let me mind you, this is the same guy who is literally fucking pro-Americans getting killed, and he's pro-China. Like, at the end of the day, I can't make this shit up. But I've held these rooms, and I hold the same stance. I have never waffled on my critique of Israel. I don't care. But I also said there are Americans. There are Jewish Americans. And the minute they were touched in Israel, and I've said this from day one, I wished we would have carpet bombed the fuck out of Gaza. I would have made a McDonald's, a fucking Popeye's chicken, and a Walmart and put it over them and said, here is the Gaza fucking shopping mall. That's what I would have done. Because the minute you touch an American, I have a fucking massive problem. I don't care what race, culture, or ethnicity you are in fucking America. I care that if somebody else from another place in this world, another country, another fucking little wannabe terrorist band touches an American, I want to fucking kill you. I want your ancestors. I want your fucking children. I want all of your offspring. I want them eliminated. I want the fear so big that when people say, hey, that's an American, other people run when they want to do bad shit. I want Americans to walk the globe in peace and security, and they should have that. They have paid for that with sweat, blood, money, treasure. They've sent their kids off to die in foreign wars on foreign soil to ensure that. We should have that. And if Israel, thank you for returning hostages, I will hand that off to you. You have my deepest, sincerest appreciation because the cuckold fucking Biden administration didn't do that. And he didn't unleash our 25 fucking 100 devil dogs that wanted to go in and fucking get our Americans back. Thank you, IDF, for returning at least that. I am grateful for that. But still, I want the heads of fucking Hamas. I'm proud that the IDF sent beepers and blew up fucking nuts off of fucking part of these collabs and terrorists. I'm happy that they struck in Qatar because at least they're doing something. But to sit there and say it's a holy war and that they're doing it perfectly and they're not harming anybody, you're full of shit. Stop with this whole Jewishes are the superheroes and you're doing it on a moral basis. You're conducting war. You're killing women and children. It's okay. It's part of fucking war. Civilians always pay the price in every fucking war. It does not matter. But you know what? Hats off to it because I'm with you. I would have fucking steamrolled through.
What I'm saying is, Brad, I'm a master chess player. Don't ever play the
You're not a fucking master anything.
Don't
play checkers and
Dude, Othello,
You can't even get tic-tac-toe right.
Don't ever play the
fuck you talking about?
Othello, here's the problem. Othello, here's the problem. And so I've been letting you guys go at it. Now, look, dude, just like how, personally, I would like, I just want...
I want to play you chess right now.
Let's do it.